Hi, everybody. I see that some people are already waiting. Hi, Star. Thank you for being early. Uh, yes, today is October 19th, 2025. And just remember, everyone, that I am a clairvoyant, clairaudient. So everything that I say on my channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you that are new, hi, Joe. I go through current events and I give my psychic opinions on what's happening and how I have a hunch of ways that these things may turn out and the results of these events, what's going to happen. And a lot of strange stuff has happened worldwide, but I do want to thank everyone. Hi, Susan. Yes, last Friday was my birthday. I want to thank everyone for the birthday wishes. Unfortunately, I do have to share it with that little thing out of Baltimore. Yes, she did turn 44. I mean, hey, she's closer. Let's see see if she matures anything this year, but we know that she won't. She's desperate for attention, so she has to throw temper tantrums on everything. So hi, Lisa. So I really don't make a big deal out of it, but made it through. I did Thursday night. Someone who's like a birthday buddy threw a party in the city, and yes, I was down there and ran into a bunch of old friends, and we all had a really good time. And yeah, we just things went well. And yesterday I went to the No Kings rally, and just to laugh at people. And I'll get to that in a minute. But yes, everybody, thank you for all the kind wishes and surprises that showed up. I appreciate everything. Now, something that's right now currently hitting the news is the stuff that's going on in Israel, Gaza. Well, the Hamas is releasing corpses in drips and drabs. And unfortunately, the families are having to run DNA tests on all the corpses that are being returned to make sure that they are actually the real people, which I think is, and of course like I said, they're doing it in like 2s and 3s. And of course, Hamas is getting pissy because, well, they're only allowing things out, the remains of people in small amounts. So Israel is saying, sorry, dudes, but we're going to keep the high outer limits. We're going to keep that border between Gaza and Rafah in Egypt closed. So nothing can get through. So, of course, the Hamas is all pissy because they're not going to get any aid to any food trucks or anything in. And so what they're doing now is they broke the ceasefire. They've started to fire on the IDF because we know that it's in the Quran that the Islamic idiots, to get what they want, they're going to lie. And unfortunately, they did lie to us. But now they're going to pay for it. You don't lie to Donald Trump. And so expect some, hi, Pamela. Hamas leaders, one word for you, payback is going to be a bitch on you. And I keep getting the hunches that I keep getting the word Dresden. So I expect the entire Gaza Strip, it's going to end up looking like Dresden, Germany. Yeah, during, 1943, 44, we bombed the crap out of it. And here, let me put the link in case there's anybody in the audience that would like to jump up. So, yeah, I mean, the Islamic Brotherhood, the Islamic idiots, they're being bossed around. All those fools that are going in and to England, crossing the channel, they're basically, they've crossed the channel because they're trying to continue what Adolf started with the Wannsee Conference. And there's the big stink happening right now in Birmingham, England, because the big match with Aston Villa and the Birmingham Council, which has a bunch of Islamic idiots sitting on it, they're saying no Jews allowed. Thank you, Pamela. Hi, Barian. So, yeah, the Muslim Brotherhood, who's in England, that Charles is endorsing, yeah, they're trying to eradicate the Jewish population out of the UK. And they're going to do it one way or another. Pretty soon, you're going to start seeing nasty things happen to people on their way to and from Friday, Saturday service. And it will be, the nastiness will happen by the Islamic idiot. But because they're basically in control of the country now, nothing will happen. But if someone who follows the Jewish faith makes a comment on social media, they're the ones who are going to get tossed into the pokey and will never come out, because there's enough guys who've followed their culture by violating young little girls. They're actually in there, and they've been told, hey, while you're in there, start getting rid of the Jews and everyone who doesn't want to convert to praying 5 times a day. That's what's going to be happening, and they're going to try to keep it hidden. But we're going to start seeing that in the UK prisons if they allow it to come out. Outer Limits, you've got a question about this Gaza nonsense. Yes, what most people don't realize is that, hi Nini, in the Quran, and especially the Shiite idiots, I mean, they're the Islamic Republic out of Iran, these fools, they are raised from birth to, it's a great honor to die in the name of Allah. And they encourage it. So women basically are taught, you're a breeder, and you are to produce as many soldiers for Allah as possible. So multiple pregnancies. And of course, the Islamic idiots, women are nothing but sex slaves. They have no rights. Their only job is to produce more Muslims. That's it. That's their only job. And that's why they want them young. And so they start with the girls that are like right after they get their first menstrual cycle. They're considered breeders. And that's what they are. That's what these asshole men are. And it's really sick because so many people don't understand. And hi, Morgan. And it's really a disgusting fact. I mean, the Islamic idiots in Birmingham are saying, hey, no Jews allowed, and people are saying, oh, we got to get the police involved. Well, the police in the UK are basically doing the bidding of the Islamic henchmen, and they're getting the blessing of Charles. And we know Charles is a freaking idiot. He's basically converted. He's openly participating, which is grounds for him to have the title, the crown, removed from him. And they're saying, well, William is already doing stuff because we're in a soft, UK is in a soft regency. And they're saying, oh, it's William who pushed Andrew to renounce his titles. Well, William and Andrew got together because they know the bullshit that Henry is doing. And in order to make things more tough on Henry, that's why they made the verbal announcement that Andrew is not going to be using his titles. But what we haven't seen and what will not be shown is any formal documentation on paper or parchment stating he is going to be stripped of the title of Duke of York. He's stating that he will not be using the titles. He'll still have the titles. He just does not use them. He will still use his prince title, Prince Andrew, because his mother was queen. But the titles he was gifted, they're going to be, he's putting them like in a little box on the back shelf of the closet. He still has them. He just isn't using them. And basically that is to twist the nose off of Henry. And people are saying, oh, but this and that, it's all getting pushed together. Andrew's dumb. I go, no, Andrew and William are playing a really good game of we're going to basically they're going to push Henry and Rachel into a corner. Yes, Outer Limits, you're very correct. Yeah, an infertile woman who's being used as, she'll be then a sex slave. She'll be open season for any guy who needs to shoot off anything at a moment's notice. She'll be basically a scullery maid who's available to get poked any time by anyone. But getting back to the Andrew situation, one of the reasons why he's decided just to go by Prince Andrew for the time being is the nonsense coming out from the estate of that Virginia Giuffre Roberts, whatever name she went by. Yes, you see, she kept a diary. Well, her husband took her diary and morphed it into a memoir, basically for the money, because everybody wants to know, oh, this and that about the whole, the guy with the island, the J.E. And she knew what she was doing. I mean, hey, at 17, I knew what was going on. So does most every other woman. They know what's going on. And it's just crazy. Oh. Who's sending me a text? Okay. Yes, one of our lovely ladies, she's driving, so she's listening, so she can't see she'll see when she gets home, she'll be able to watch. That's why I put the little thing in the comments on the screen, so you don't have to wait 12 hours for them to be cleared by YouTube. But getting back, it's like, yeah, the memoirs of Virginia Giuffre. there were actually diaries that her husband, her family members, morphed into a book so they could make more money. Yeah, she knew what was going on. I keep getting the hunch that she basically volunteered because she had a crush. And who wouldn't want to have the chance of messing around with a royal? I mean, he was single. Who wouldn't want it? I mean, it's a notch on her lipstick case. That's what she was going after. That's all that Andrew was. It was a notch on her lipstick case. And it's so she knew what she was doing. And yeah, she was in an abusive, she may have been in an abusive situation. She could have left it, but she stayed. And yeah, she got paid off a chunk of change by Andrew because he wanted, hey, listen, I know you're going to blow the stack off of it, but will you stay quiet during my mother's Jubilee year? And so, yeah, she took a chunk of change to stay quiet for 12 months. But as soon as that 12 months was up, she opened her trap. And that's what was going on. But Andrew didn't have the titles taken away. He's just put them in the back closet for a while until things happen, until especially after Charles admits and steps down and allows William to take over. Because William is getting sick and tired because both he and Catherine are very much involved in like the football rugby leagues in the UK. And they don't like people saying, oh, people of a certain religion can't attend certain games. Because, yeah, they're starting with that Aston Villa game. That's the first little step. What is next? If you're Jewish, you can't go to the grocery stores during certain times. You can only go to the grocery store at certain times. Take a look at what happened in Germany in the 1930s. Hi, K-Mac. That's exactly what is happening in the UK because Charles is not strong enough to dissolve Parliament and kick Keir Starmer and Sadiq Khan and everybody else out of their job. Charles is a weak idiot. And that's one of the reasons. That's one thing that Diana still kept quiet about. And that paperwork is being held by the Spencer family. When the time comes to make sure that Henry never gets close, Chucky Spencer does have the documents that prove how evil Charles really is. And when the time comes, he will have to produce them because people have to push to get for Charles to step down. And because it's like he's turned into it's almost to the point where he's a member of the Muslim Brotherhood. And we know that Donald has been talking to Zelensky today. And I was talking to people the other night, and they said, well, what do you think is going to happen? Because it was also announced that Donald would be going over to Hungary, and Viktor Orban would be hosting Donald and Vlad, so they could have a conference. But what I keep picking up is part of the deal is that Zelensky will need to resign from office, and there must be brand new elections, legal elections in the Ukraine. So there's a new head of state. And once there is a new head of state in the Ukraine, then the situation between Russia and Ukraine will be dissolved. But it will not happen until Zelensky resigns and a new president is elected. And yeah. So that's what's going to be, and we didn't see everything that Donald talked to Zelensky about. I mean, it was ironic. I tried watching the news conference broadcast today, and literally I was pulling it up online on the computer, on the phone, on the TVs. And it was like they were jamming the microphone that Donald was speaking in. So nobody who was watching the live broadcast or the rebroadcast could hear exactly what Donald was saying. It was intentional by the mainstream media, because the mainstream media's focus is to continue to brainwash these people. I mean, yesterday was that day of no kings rallies. And yes, I went down into the city, down to Grant Park. I met some friends, Queen Thugshaker and one of the other guys. And we were there. And yeah, there's pictures of me all over X right now. There's a picture of me with Rachel, Queen Thugshaker. And if you go on my X account, Glenda the Good 4, you're going to find a lot of photos and the videos that I took while I was at this rally. And what was really ironic is, like, last night when I got home, I downloaded the stuff off the memory card. And I have the ClipChamp on my laptop. And I put together a really great video, and I could play it on ClipChamp. But the minute I tried to export it out of the ClipChamp program into something else so I could upload it onto YouTube, ClipChamp was not letting me. So I'm like, okay, Microsoft. So basically, I'm going to have to delete that software out of my computer and go get some new editing software. I mean, I'm just cringing at how much that's going to cost me. Yeah, the Z guy. Yeah, he's demanding long-range missiles. And he's willing to, one of the things he's willing to do is trade drones. Oh, we'll trade you our Ukraine drones for your long-range missiles. I'm like, it's like giving us paper planes, origami planes, for something absolutely viable. So he's basically, he wants everything for nothing. It's like, who's he going to sell those long-range missiles to? How much is Iran going to pay him for it? Because Zelensky has been funneling arms, munitions to the Muslim Brotherhood. And Donald has called them out as a terrorist organization. And yeah, he's... and what needs to be done is every single one of those shitheads that crosses the channel into the UK, they need to start being strip searched. What are those guys wearing underneath the bulky clothing? What are they hiding underneath the women in their abaya, their wardrobe from Omar the Tent Maker? Yeah, I mean, it's like, being at the No Kings rally, you can see how stupid so many of these people are. Because the Democrats are saying, get ICE out of America. I mean, who the people ICE are rounding up and kicking out are the members of the Islamic military, the guys in the sleeper cells. And these people are upset about it. They don't realize it. And I was getting into the faces. I guess you all want to be, all these women You're so stupid. You want to end up with the US like England overrun, and I guess they all want to be sex slaves, and of course they are all fat, obese, chubettes, ugly women. They're so desperate to get laid that I guess they will take any, if it means putting on, surrendering their ability to be an American woman with the freedoms that we have and the rights in order to get something put up there, whatchamacallit. They're willing to screw over the entire country. And yes, from what I was told, they were making $50 an hour plus a voucher to restaurants and transportation vouchers. The ads were up on Craigslist, and they're paid basically by George Soros. And they were paid, or usually I think it's like, normally they get paid $150 to go to it, but it was pretty long. So these people were probably made about $100 to $500. No, about $300. Yeah, it was ridiculous. We were there from about 11, shortly after 11, and then about 1 o'clock we talked about it. I go, listen, we got to get out of this mess before it starts getting too bonkers, because just for our own safety. Because we were getting harassed, and I had this one guy who literally saw me on the train going into the city. Big, fat, ugly jerk wearing a gray shirt and stuff. And he was literally harassing me. And I looked at him, get out of my face. And it's like, only in your dreams, idiot. I'm like, verbal assault? I told him to go get lost, asshole. I know. It's like, they know. I'm dropping the link down in case anybody wants to jump up and chat. It was a very interesting experience. And then we walked up and we had lunch at a restaurant that is, how do I say this? If you support Donald, it's a safe haven restaurant. That's located at at the intersection of State and Chestnut in downtown in the River North area of Chicago. Okay, it's a safe environment if you're pro Donald Trump. Okay, if you shoot me an email, I'll send you the name of the restaurant and the exact address. But it's around State and Chestnut. Okay. So we had lunch, and then everyone went in their own directions. And I took the train out of the city, and I got off the train around 3:15ish. And of course, that's where I live. That's when they started their No Kings idiot shit. Well, thank goodness I still had on my alligator Alcatraz t-shirt, and I have a really good, huge golf, big oversized umbrella, and that's what I put my Trump flag onto that I was carrying around. And I was getting all sorts of nasty comments, and I said, fuck off and die, idiots. And especially these women, I guess you want to be an Islamic sex slave. I looked at these dudes, I go, you're an idiot. And it's like, you're the type that gave up your own personal pow-pow, so there'll be no way to defend your wife and children. I looked at some of these women, I just said, hey, the way you're dressed, the Islamic idiots that are floating around here, you're considered a prostitute. And they like to go after little girls that is like 6, 7, 8, 9 single-digit little girls. And they start giving me shit, but I know the people from the local PD, and they go, she's right. Listen to her. And these people are like, huh? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, excuse me, but you know what? Thank goodness I looked at him, I said, you're damn lucky it's not raining. Otherwise you'd be drowning. You think you're so hot shit. But you know nothing. You're a blue idiot. And when it comes time that we may have to personally defend ourselves, hey, if you're one of these idiots that votes blue no matter who, or thinks Donald is horrible, I'm not protecting you. Go fend for yourself. That's my attitude. And but considering what Pritzker and Baboon said yesterday, basically all the crap that they said is being put together for the indictments. And along with the idiots like that Mondami idiot in New York, and Baboon, and fat ass Pugster, and Gruesome Newsom, and the whole governor of New York, and of course Tim Walz, and the shithead people like Ellen Omar, Rashida Tlaib, and a few other shitheads like Jasmine Crockett. Within the next few weeks, we're going to see a lot of indictments. And they are going to, Donald had the thing up. They're going to reinstate the amendment that was passed right around World War II, saying no Muslim can hold political office in America. That's going to be brought back. And that's going to be the bargaining chip with the demon quacks. You either agree to saying only U.S. citizens can hold political office. We mean natural born, which means their grandparents had to be American citizens. Otherwise, you can't hold any political office or government job. That's what it's going to be tossed out to. Of course, the demon quacks are saying, oh, but this and that, but it's politicians that are still getting their paycheck. They'll always get their paycheck. They cover their asses first. Well, Barian, we have to, technically, there's Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, and we've always had somebody running under the Communist Party, but they're all listed on the ballot. And most people would, it's very rare that somebody does. Okay, Bernie Sanders has been there, but he classifies as an independent. He's a communist. But he's basically the only one in Congress. So he's basically, his vote is up for sale constantly. Constantly, his vote is up for sale. So, but yeah, if you want to go on to my X account, because could not upload those videos on YouTube. Couldn't build a video using Microsoft software. So I know AI is like, but I was able to direct upload to X and Truth Social. So freedom of speech, First Amendment. And who knows what's next. So like I said, outer limits, totally, I agree with you. At least the grandparents have to be citizens. I'm lucky enough that I can say that. And I did say it to some of these assholes that if it wasn't for my family, there would be no United States. A member of my dad's side traced it all the way back And they came over from England in like 1730. And they're getting the paperwork out. I have to get a copy of the genealogy so I can go get the paperwork for Daughters of the DAR, that I can wave in front of these stupid idiots. So I can honestly say, hey, if it wasn't for my dad's family, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have a country you wouldn't be an American citizen. You'd still be Brits. We'd be a member of the Commonwealth. Yeah. So, yeah, idiots. Yeah. And I'll definitely wave it in front of their stupid ass noses. Oh, you're not an American. I go, hey, I admit it. Dad's side is definitely Jacobite. Get rid of the stupid Hanoverians who are running the country. Well, William would be exempt because actually Diana's blue blood is Jacobite. But Charles certainly isn't. He's Hanoverian. He's got to get his ass out. Okay. But yes, it's like, check out the stuff. I think I posted up 4 or 5 video clips, and people are watching them and they're like, oh my gosh. These fat idiots. And it was really funny because riding the train in, and I think I've got a picture of her, of this woman from the Western Burbs. Oh, I'm actually the president of this teachers union out there. Well, like your opinion, folks. If you want me to put up her picture, I will, so people know what kind of fat ass idiot is deciding what is taught in your schools. And yeah, and every time the teachers get a raise, her paycheck gets bigger. Because the dues are a percentage, not a flat amount each month, a percentage of somebody's paycheck. So if your paycheck goes up $500, let's say your paycheck is $2,000 every 2 weeks, and your union dues are 5%. Well, if your paycheck went from $2,000 every 2 weeks to $2,500, that's a nice little bonus in her check too, because their pay is a percentage of what people take home each week. So 5 cents on every dollar probably goes into her back pocket. And let me tell you, she was a fat cow. And I admit it, hey, I had to go into the doctor's office earlier this week. I weighed in at 129 pounds, and I'm 5'8". So I'm wearing probably about a size 6 right now. She was definitely a double X, extra large, fat ass, pushing well over 200, pushing 300 pounds. And that's what most of these fat ass Democrats are. So, yeah, it's kind of funny. But yeah, it's disgusting. So is there anyone who would like to jump in today and have would like to jump in and express their comments? And yes, I did see the nonsense going on. I did catch some of the nonsense going on with certain people online. And honestly, folks, the only people that no, I didn't see the fat cow, but I was interviewed by Telemundo. And so I've been poking around on it. They didn't like what I had to say because they asked me, why are you here? I go, why do I support Donald Trump? And I said, because Donald is the only one tough enough to stand up to the idiot Islamics. And that's what he's kicking out. He's keeping America safe so it doesn't turn into the mess that's England. They didn't like that. Donald is tough enough to stand up to Hamas. Lisa, I haven't heard anything about it, but let's put it this way. Every time something is taken out of the Louvre, it might disappear for a year, a couple years, but it ends up back at the Louvre because anything that's been in there is so well documented that they can't get rid of it. They can't sell it because everybody knows it's stolen goods. It's whoever takes it, if you take something out of the Louvre, you better just hang it up in your own house because you can't liquidate it because everyone knows it's stolen goods. And if you make an offer, Interpol is going to come knocking on your door. It will be found. Okay? You will be stolen goods, especially artwork, are always returned. Yeah, I mean, the fat cow, the idiot from WGN, she was behind the scenes. She was in the production offices. The one that was tossing stuff at the down in the South Burbs, and where they have that site at, it's like less than a mile away from one of the biggest Islamic mosque outlets. It's like down at 99th and Harlem, or 95th and Harlem, and it's all like Muslim shitheads down there. It's like Bridgeview, and she's an idiot, and WGN is losing its credibility. All of them are. What it is, the jewels. Okay, every one of those stones in the jewelry has already been thoroughly examined and plotted, because any good quality diamond, you get a letter of authenticity, and the stones are mapped where all the variations, because no stone is perfectly clear. There's minuscule occlusions in every gemstone, and they're all been plotted. And unless they recut the stones, and even then, they will still be able to trace them back. It's going to be, it will be returned. It's all going to be returned. It's going to be, there's too many cameras in Paris, and their whereabouts have already been located. They didn't have the influence in order to have the cameras shut down like that August night in 97. Okay? They were just idiots looking to get, trying to climb the ranks by doing something. And they made a mess out of it. Yeah, it's like, yeah, that No Kings rally is basically either you're with the group or you're going to be ostracized. You have brainwashed idiots who followed the crowd. I'm like, it's like, I mentioned to someone earlier today that being there, it was like being at the Nuremberg rallies with, you got Baboon and Pugsley playing the role of Adolf. Yeah, you either follow them or else you're going to have your life ruined. Well, you know what? Hey, I'm happy to make noise and stand up for what's right. And the other idiots, they can go take a flying fucking leap. Hey, Angel. Thank you. Yes, but it's just insane. And yeah, well, you're going to see there. you're going to see stuff coming out. In England about the Islamic idiots. And one of them is actually going to spill the beans. That's who, it's going to be one of the, Baboon. It's like the comments, the interviews, it's just like, he's a stupid idiot. It's all coming out in the wash. And the next things that'll come out is the truth about Henry and Rachel. And don't be surprised if there's a lot of hush-hush paperwork that already went through in a California court. Yeah, and remember, it's like Baboon, he went from being a grade school teacher, a guy who was brainwashing children, to mayor of Chicago. Yeah, anyone who teaches grade school really doesn't have, all they had to do is pass a basic algebra class. He's never taken, he most likely has never taken an accounting class. And you kind of need one to read these spreadsheets for the budgets. But I have a feeling if it wasn't for a calculator, he'd be fucked. He can't do basic math. 1 and 1 plus 2, 7 times 6 is 42? Yeah. I'd like to see the grade point average of all of Baboon's former students. Where is that? If you notice, none of the media has done that digging. Yeah. Where are the former students of Baboon? And what is their GPA now? That will answer a lot. Big time. Let's put it this way. The majority of the Chicago Teachers Union is black. Yeah, most of them are pretty. Basically, they DEI'd their way through their bachelor's degree to become a teacher. I know Georgia Maloney, Angel, yes. She's telling all of them, hey, you wear a burqa and niqab, fine, cough up the cash. If she hears of an Iman saying something stupid, she kicks their asses out. And right now she's having fits because Pope Leo the 14th, the guy from the south suburbs of Chicago, the South Side Democrat. Yeah, he was raised South Side Democrat. Actually put in a mini mosque in Vatican City. Yes. So the Catholic Church is supporting this bullshit. Big time. It is. So that's why Georgia is like, F you, and she is going to make, I hope that they surround Vatican City. And you know what? If people want to get in and out, show a passport. That's considered its own country. So now it's time for Georgia to put border control for Vatican City. Yes. It will be fantastic. Oh, we've got the faux candor today. Let's just call him the faux flu. Why don't you fly away, guy? Yeah. So that's what Leo, he's from Dalton, Illinois. Dalton is nothing but it was a low blue collar town that's now basically it's now basically it was a town that during the 70s and 80s, ultimate white flight during the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Okay. he's South Side Democrat. So he's gonna do whatever the Democrats want. And the Democrats have always followed the lead of the evil idiots. So that's what he's doing. So he's Vatican Library now has a mosque. And the Catholic Church supports it. So bad news. I think people are gonna I think people are going to start having their own home prayer circles. Would probably be the most effective, and get a copy of an accurate English translation of the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible. And you're going to find that it is a lot more accurate. And you're going to see how it has been bastardized time and time again. I mean, yeah, the King James Version, that was created for a king who was bisexual. Definitely. Thank you, Outer Limits. But yeah, it's like, yeah, let's see if anybody would like to come up and make comments. You know, if it's the real Candor, he always comes up and just says hello. So we know this. If they don't come up, we know they're a lying idiot looking for attention. They're in desperate need of attention, so they have to come in. They're very insecure. They need ego validation. How much do you weigh? 300 pounds? Tub of lard. So, but yeah, it's like I've been on for almost an hour. Anybody want to come up and say anything? Ask any questions? Well, like I said, I want to thank everyone for watching today. Everyone who's on YouTube, who's on X. Everyone for all the wonderful birthday wishes. And I hope everyone has a great week ahead. We're finally getting rain in the Midwest because we did have somewhat of a drought. And yeah. So I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Go over onto X so you can check out the videos that I filmed. Hey, Joe. Yeah. And yeah, go ahead, shoot me a message if you need to know the name of their restaurant for everybody. Thank you, Joe. And we'll have a good week. And I'll be back here next Sunday, same time. So you can just set your calendar on it. All right. Hey, Star. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. And yeah, to the people who do send me stuff, I'll send you out the private photos from the birthday bash that happened on Thursday evening. Catch you later. Bye-bye.